Hi everyone, welcome to the Alchemy scope. So this has been wanting to come forward for quite a while, but here we are at the very end of 2014 and it couldn't wait any longer. It was really calling to come forward. So there was one intention when this came to me months ago, there was one intention of bringing forward this particular new moon alchemy scope for the signs, which is to provide you tools and information that will help support your journey of your soul's maturation and evolution process that's underway, because it is underway rapidly, and we're needing as much support as we can get. So this is intended to support your journey wholly. So there are 6 components to every new moon alchemy scope that's going to be coming out. One is the symbology. We're going to look on the macrocosmic scale, on a general scale for the collective, what symbology is imbued at the degree point for the new moon that's informing this next 30-day cycle. Then on the microcosmic scale, I'm going to throw the I Ching for you, and we're going to look at your particular theme that's going to be playing out and what's going to be being called forward within you to grow and mature. And then I'm going to do a spread. I'm either going to use the Bral Talej deck, or I'm going to use a deck of 144 card deck that I created I call the Siri deck. So I'm going to either use the Bral Talej or the Siri deck to pull some information about an event or situation that might emerge for you this month that your soul has called forward for you to grow and mature through. And then we're going to look at the archetypes. I'm going to pull from the Carolyn Miss Archetype deck, and we're going to find out which archetypal qualities are wanting to come through you, evolve through you this month, mature, essentially. And then we're going to pull an Ascended Masters card for support from Doreen Virtue's deck. And finally, I'm going to provide you a Dakini from Penny Slinger's 64 Dakini Oracle, and they're quite powerful, and there's a lot of information. So I'm going to provide a link at the end of the video where you can go and access the information, because it's something you want to sit and read with. Excuse me, you want to read through and then you want to work with, because there are affirmations and rituals and stuff that Penny recommends. And I find them quite powerful. This is goddess energy, this is archetypal energy, this is themed energy. So the Dakini will provide you a theme to dive into in the coming 30 days that will serve your growth. Okay? So let's get started on the individual signs. So let's talk about the macrocosmic cycle that's unfolding with this new moon. The Sabian symbol that's imbued at 0 degrees Sagittarius, which is the new moon point happening on November 22nd and informing our next 30-day cycle, is retired Army veterans gather to reawaken old memories. Now, this is an important period of time that we're walking through right now. This particular new moon is the second of 3 consecutive new moons happening at the 0 degree point. October 23rd had it at 0 degrees Scorpio. Next month we have it at 0 degrees Capricorn on December 22nd. So we're in the middle of a portal time frame right now that is quite powerful. 0 is the alpha and the omega. 0 is beginnings and endings. 0 is potentiality. It is your pure empowerment. So this is a big, big time. It's no number, yet it is the container for all. It is the Fool in the tarot. This is pure potentiality. This is activation of your truest, highest self. This is about activating and actualizing your soul print, everyone. So this new moon is fascinating because it is happening in Sagittarius. Sagittarius represents higher mind, optimism, journeying forward, freedom, expansion, adventure. And the fact that the symbol that's imbued with this new moon is about, coming together post-war, and a lot of us have been through a lot of difficulties over the course of the last year or many years recently as systems start collapsing and we're really being called to become our full and whole selves. We're being called to really look back and see what has worked, what hasn't worked, what has served us, what do we want to rebuild anew, what do we need to let go of. So at this new moon, it's the duality of both and, where we're looking forward, yet we're having to look back. So that's pretty powerful stuff. And for me, that's about extracting what it is that worked, letting go what didn't, and moving forward into the new self, the new whole self. So this is really a beautiful time. So let's go into each sign and look at what event or situation might be influencing you this month. So let's look at the I Ching that came up for you this month. Now this is referring to your microcosmic cycle this month. So this is kind of specific for you. Two things I want to let you know. One is I went ahead and I threw the coins to come up with the 2 trigrams that create the hexagram, which is your I Ching form that comes up for this next cycle. And this form contains information for you. I did it separately because they are time consuming to do, and I didn't want to do it on camera, but I might do it on camera in a future episode of the Alchemy Scopes. The other thing I wanted to let you know is I'm using what's called the Visionary I Ching, developed by Paul O'Brien. The language in the Visionary I Ching is resonant with modern day. So let me read to you what you got. You got number 8, holding together. And the qualities of holding together are water above, earth below. And let me read to you what it says. Holding together brings success, but high-level teamwork is achieved when a clear goal is shared by the right players, on the right team, at the right time. A team forms its relationships in a delicate manner. Chemistry is brewed in a vat of shared experiences. Latecomers cannot share the same depth of union as earlier members. Wholehearted commitment is required for team success. All successful teams have a shared vision and a leader. If a team's leadership is up to the challenge, the team will prosper. In political and business affairs, just as in basketball, it is hard to win without a strong center. Accept the structure of the team if you wish to receive its benefits. Otherwise, go off on your own. In holding together with others, cling to your own principles, but be willing to subordinate your personal desires for the good of the group. Perhaps you are contemplating becoming a leader of a group. Remember that to become the center of influence, binding people together is a considerable challenge and a serious responsibility. Assess yourself carefully first to see if you qualify for this role. If not, it would be better that the group not be formed than for you to lead it without proper preparation. So this looks to be your specific energies, the specific cycle of the majority of the month of December. So this is something to keep in mind when you look at all the parts and pieces that we're assembling in this alchemy scope for you. So let's see what's next. Hi Aquarians. So let's take a look at what situation or event might be emerging for you in December. Now, I went ahead and already shuffled. This is what I call the Siri deck. It's a 144 card spread deck that I created for myself several years ago. Let's go ahead and pull the spread. This particular spread is called a Synchronic spread. It was created for the Bral Talej Divination deck, which is another deck that I enjoy using as well. but actually I've been using my own deck for a while now. Okay, so this is a very simple spread. Depending on whether they come up as reversals will dictate how many cards each sector gets. This to let you know, so the synchronic spread is the central message from the spiritual arena, from the physical, from the emotional aspect, from the mental, and then the center card. So this is about, for Aquarians out there in December, this is about being in the moment. This is about really being present, being in the moment, being awake, being aware. Okay? And it's asking you to actually kind of slow down physically and be contemplative, really review what's going on, meditate if you don't already. So this is actually, it's a really kind of a beautifully simple spread. You are protected this month. This is very clear. So, and this came up in the spiritual sector. So you are being reminded essentially that you are looked over, you're watched after, there is meaning in the universe, life does coordinate symbiotically and synchronistically. You are protected. So this is a beautiful message. And also just, this is talking, the portal card is talking about this chapter of time. So during this time, really be present, really be in the moment. It's like Eckhart Tolle, you know, being in the now, be here now, Ram Dass. You know, so this is about being here, being contemplative. And also, this is maybe too about, this is in the thinking sector, in your analytic thinking mental sector. This is referring both to maybe being more internal, like you might feel a need to be a little more internal this month, staying home more than normal, but also aligning your thoughts resonantly. So the home card refers to a deep internal resonance. And for that card to show up in your mental sector is really referring to calming your body down, being contemplative, meditating, slowing down your pace, and really aligning your thoughts with your truest self, with your home, with your internal nature. So this is quite a delicious spread, Aquarius. This is really great. Simple but powerful. Wonderful. Hi, Aquarius. So what archetype wants to evolve through you this month? What quality sets want to emerge within you this month? Let me focus on the cards because it's interesting. Some of the shuffles, they're quite sticky, and other shuffles they're fine. It's really interesting to see kind of how they're behaving with the different signs. So let's take a look. So this is Carolyn Mrs. Archetype deck, and she not only brings up the various archetypes that are common archetypes that live within us and are within the collective psyche, but also the higher frequency manifestation and the lower frequency manifestation. She calls them different things, but that's how I like to use them. Wow. So look at this. So the archetype that wants to evolve and grow through you is healer. How fantastic is that? So let me read this. So the higher frequency manifestation of healer is passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. The shadow attributes, or the lower frequency manifestations of healer, are taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself. And that's a pretty common one. I used to work in the nonprofit world, and healers never heal themselves. It's a big topic, actually. So you must heal yourself. But this is about healing self and other, doing the healing work that's coming through you naturally. If you're having some intuitions about work to do in the healing profession, you want to take heed of those this month. You want to pay attention to those this month. Okay? So let's look at the Ascended Master that has a special message for you, something that you should direct your energy toward or take a look at, or something you should know about this month. And this is Doreen Virtue's Ascended Masters deck. I love this deck very much. So, what Ascended Master is coming forward for Aquarius in December 2014? Can you believe it's December already? Okay, so this is interesting. So there are a couple signs, a few signs that are getting duplicate cards. So you have Peace Offering, White Buffalo Calf Woman, and this is about peace coming your way over a disagreement or over some issue or situation. So let me read it from the book. How gorgeous. I think it's fantastic that this has come up for another sign as well. It means that there's a lot of healing underway. Okay, so the what Doreen says for this card is, this card heralds the resolution of an argument or misunderstanding. Those involved in a situation are ready to forgive and forget. Be open to seeing the other person's point of view to soften any hard feelings. As you allow compassion into the situation, love's healing powers ensures that everyone's needs are met harmoniously. Leave the details about how the situation will be resolved to the infinite wisdom of Spirit. So I'll show you that one more time. Beautiful. Great. So, Aquarius, let's see what else we have for you this month. So Aquarius, the last component to your alchemy scope this month is your Dakini. I went through a ritual prior to the recording of this video and pulled the Dakini that wanted to come forward for you this month. You got 61 Crone Lamo. This is what Penny Slinger writes of Crone Lamo. I'll just give you a taste, and then the link is below for you to gather the rest of the information. She is the grandmother deep within the earth. She brings earth magic with the fire that penetrates, transforms, and dissolves. Crone Lamo is the archetype of the witch, the hag, the grandmother who is both powerful and frightening, for she is deep and ancient and sees all. She is known as Chamunda in the pantheon of the 64 yogini temples of India. Chamunda is a very important figure in the temple's pantheon. Many yogini temples are dedicated to her. She is known as emaciated, with 3 eyes, black-skinned, and wearing a necklace of skulls of severed heads. She rides a jackal or stands on a corpse. She is connected to and often identified with Kali. So that gives you a flavor. It might sound scary. It might sound like shadow elements, but that's okay, because all of the Dakinis that come forward offer brilliance and radiance and high-frequency manifestations. All of them offer gifts. So what might appear as more negative qualities that are associated with some of these Dakinis are in fact not. So I invite you to follow the link, read the rest of the information, and I hope you have a fantastic December. I will see you next month. And a final note, the products that I offer, the archetypal profile, the symbolic profile, holistic sessions, that all help people get clear on the archetypes, the symbols, and the general evolutionary trajectory their soul is encoded with. All of those services are available via gift certificate. So if you have family members or friends who you would love to give the gift of clarity this year to, I have wonderful, easy gift certificates that can provide some not only fun, but wonderful and kind of deep and meaningful gifts. So I invite you to go to the website and take a look. Links are below, and contact me with if should you have any questions whatsoever, if you need clarity on what any of these items are. But archetypal profile, symbolic profile, the combination of both, and the holistic sessions are wonderful offerings to help people really see various aspects of themselves very clearly. And this is just such a beautiful time to do that. All right. Happy holidays, everybody.